Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. Inside, the ancient Chaos City was peaceful as always. 3 purple messengers were walking on the street and reached Truyang Emperor's house. It's the purple messengers of the primal Chaos City leader. The purple messengers are here. The most frequently seen messengers normally wore black. Some of the students in Truyang Emperor's house were startled, as they'd rarely seen the arrival of purple messengers. They knew something significant had happened. Go, tell the teacher. After only a short while, Truyang Emperor came out and greeted them himself. He was also baffled. 3 purple messengers are here, he said. 1 black messenger is enough, normally. What's the point of sending 3 purple messengers here? Congratulations, Truyang Emperor. The tallest messenger laughed. Congratulations. The other 2 purple knights laughed along. Why do you congratulate me? Come, sit inside. Truyang Emperor led the 3 messengers into the hall, and several students served some wine and fruits. They left after duty, as they knew they were not supposed to meddle with some major issues. That left only the 3 messengers and Truyang Emperor in the hall. It's such great news. The tall messenger beamed and brought out a metal box. What's so mysterious? Truyang Emperor took and opened it. There was a hexagonal stone tablet inside, on which was sculpted a roaring beast god. Truyang Emperor was dazed, and his hand started to tremble. He picked up the stone tablet, and his eyes turned red. He caressed this tablet, as if he were worried that it was a phantom. His voice faltered as he said, Beast God Inheritance Token. It's the Beast God Inheritance Token. For such a long time, practically forever, I've always wanted it. Truyang Emperor's body trembled. Now, I've finally got the chance. Finally. He was stuck at the last step for what felt like an infinite amount of time. Although the token could help him greatly, it was almost impossible to get one. The tokens were extremely rare in the universe, as they represented the most special inheritance of ancestral god school. Perhaps there were only a few of each type of the tokens within the human race, and the race needed to prepare for the potential peerless talents in the future. The tokens would only be granted under few circumstances. He couldn't make the final breakthrough if he didn't get the token. It was indeed only one step, but it was like a chasm, separating countless emperors from universe knights. Thank you, Primal Chaos City Leader. Truyang Emperor kneeled with excitement. Thank you, seniors. I'll strive to become a universe knight and live up to the expectations. Please, get up. The tall messenger helped Truyang Emperor to his feet. The race rewarded with a token. Truyang Emperor was thrilled. It's not from the race. It's from your student Luo Feng. Luo Feng. Truyang Emperor was stupefied. Yes, your student Luo Feng, the tall messenger continued. I was serving the Primal Chaos City Leader in the Primal Secret region. The Primal Chaos City Leader asked us to come here directly and give this to you. As for Luo Feng, he's still with the Primal Chaos City Leader in the Primal Secret region. How did he get the token? Truyang Emperor suddenly had complicated feelings. My student was also following the path of Beast God, and he could certainly trade this token for another. Why did he give this to me? No matter how close the relationship between the teacher and the student, the powerful ones would do everything in their power to improve themselves. Giving the insignificant ones to their teachers could be regarded as gratitude. Truyang Emperor, you have a great student. We won't stay for long, as we need to go back and report, the tall messenger said. We'll escort ourselves out. The 3 messengers left. Truyang Emperor was both exhilarated and anxious. Even though he had desired the token for so long, he felt like it was too much. Truyang Emperor connected to the virtual universe, and sent 10 emails to Luo Feng, before coming to Luo Feng's manor in Yuxiong Mountain. Luo Feng, Truyang Emperor shouted, which baffled all the servants and the guards. Teacher. Luo Feng soon got out of the hall. Come with me. Truyang Emperor grabbed Luo Feng and entered the hall. Truyang Emperor couldn't wait to yell, "Where did you get the token? Did you get it from our race? Don't you know how important it is to you? You're following the path of Beast God yourself. How could you just give it up and hand it in to your teacher? I'll be restless knowing you've traded your future for mine. And you know if I can't be tranquil, I might fail even if I enter the land of inheritance." "Please relax, teacher," Luo Feng said. "I got it myself instead of getting it from my race." "You got it yourself?" Truyang Emperor was startled. It was not so easy to get one. Once other powerful ones found it, they would use their godly power to penetrate it and discern how important it was. Usually, they would just hand it into their race. That was how most of the tokens were held by the races. "It's true. I obtained it by myself," Luo Feng said. "Just think about this. I gave this to you in the hands of the Primal Chaos City Leader. If I actually got it from our race, the Primal Chaos City Leader wouldn't allow me to do so." "That makes sense." Truyang Emperor nodded his head. "The Primal Chaos City Leader won't let you be reckless. Just use it now, teacher," Luo Feng continued. "It's not difficult for me to get a token from our race. You'll definitely be valued by our race based on your potential, and you're more than qualified to get the token. Even the Seven-Blade Emperor, who is less talented than you, could get one." Truyang Emperor nodded his head and frowned. "However, you need to become an Undying to get the token, and that's going to take a long time." "Please don't worry about that, teacher." Luo Feng smiled. "Did you forget that I'm Blade River Emperor, teacher? I'm already powerful enough to get one, and the Primal Chaos City Leader will file an application for me. He told me that it would succeed given his presence and my genius." Truyang Emperor sighed. "The Primal Chaos City Leader is the ruler of the virtual universe. Okay, he'll definitely succeed. Luo Feng, I've benefited so much from you. It was a piece of cake." Luo Feng beamed. Deep in the primal secret region, the Thousand Treasure River surrounded the stars. Luo Feng was sitting on top of one of the palaces, and looked at the river from afar. He thought back to what the Primal Chaos City Leader had told him. "Luo Feng, this is the date when we'll know whether you can get the token or not. If it fails, you'll have to wait until you become an Undying. I hope it can succeed." "I will succeed," said Luo Feng as he sat on the top of the palace with his legs crossed. Land of Inheritance, the sacred place of ancestral God's school. How exciting. Time passed. Luo Feng was growing anxious from waiting. However, he knew that the seniors from all the 5 powers of the human race were negotiating the decision. Could they make an exception for Luo Feng? Could Luo Feng succeed? After a long while, Luo Feng heard a peaceful voice. "Luo Feng." Luo Feng turned around and saw the Primal Chaos City Leader holding the rugged stone stick. Luo Feng's heart missed a beat, as he knew the meeting had ended and a decision had been made. Luo Feng stood up and greeted him. "Teacher." "The meeting's over," the Primal Chaos City Leader said. "I can tell by the look on your face how concerned you are. Rest assured, because it's good news. The application was approved, and your identity as Blade River Emperor thrilled the masters of the universe of our race. They all think highly of you, and thus I don't need to put forth too much effort." Luo Feng was overjoyed. He didn't believe what the Primal Chaos City Leader said, and was certain his teacher had pulled lots of strings. "Thank you, teacher," Luo Feng said. "I won't fail you and the other masters of the universe. Just don't fail the human race." The Primal Chaos City Leader burst into laughter. "The token will be sent to you in 2 days, and I've already told Truyang to come to the Primal Secret Region to meet with you. You'll go to the Land of Inheritance together." "Yes, teacher." Luo Feng was cheerful. The human race was efficient, and the token arrived after only 1 day. Beast God Inheritance Token. Luo Feng started to examine the hexagonal metal tablet in his hands. There was a single-horned lizard sculpture on the tablet, which was the beast god of Blood River World. However, It was not as distinct as the one Luo Feng had gotten before, and it did not contain any lore. How marvelous the metal is! I've never heard of it. Luo Feng caressed the tablet and penetrated it with his spiritual force. The information struck his mind. It was the same as the one before. They even had identical coordinates. Truyang Emperor took off from Primal Chaos City immediately after Luo Feng told him the news and arrived at the Primal Secret Region on the same day. Inside the transportation center of the Primal Secret Region, Luo Feng was dressed in black armor, and Truyang Emperor in gold as they departed from their spaceship and landed on the boundless expanse of the Primal Secret Region. Here, many transportation channels had been built for the purpose of Godly Kingdom transportation. Creatures here didn't need to fear the risk of discovery. Teacher, we're far from the land of inheritance, Luo Feng said. Do you have the coordinates of any nearby locations? The closest is 1 billion light-years away, Truyang Emperor said. That far? Luo Feng was startled. A distance of 1 billion light-years would take them a whole year to cross. One of my servants has some coordinates. Maybe we can cut down on the journey by half a year or so. Luo Feng waved his hands, and a barbarian creature covered with scales appeared. It had a purple membrane on its face, and its appearance drew the attention of many powerful warriors in the area. Murmurs went up among the crowd. It's Truyang Emperor. How is it possible that Truyang Emperor left Primal Chaos City? He actually left. Then who is the one with him? The man in the black armor? Could that be Blade River Emperor? Everyone says Blade River Emperor is Luo Feng, and we all know Luo Feng is a student of Truyang Emperor. This black-armored man standing with Truyang Emperor. Can you feel the force emanating from him? It could be Blade River Emperor concealing his wings. None of these individuals made any efforts to lower their voices. They deliberately let Luo Feng hear them in order to observe his reaction. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor looked at one another. They are quite astute, Truyang Emperor said, speaking to Luo Feng telepathically. Your reputation precedes you. It's not surprising that they've guessed it, replied Luo Feng. Others already have. And rumor has it that my invaluable treasure is the silver wing. Besides, there are only so many powerful individuals within the human race, and everyone knows each other. It's little wonder that an earthling whom they have never seen before who suddenly shows up with you, of all people, is the subject of suspicion. You're in big trouble, Truyang Emperor teased. Luo Feng shrugged. It's not necessarily bad to be famous. He turned to his servant and said aloud, perform Godly Kingdom transportation. Yes, master, said the barbarian servant. It started the transportation process immediately. A flash of aqua-blue light surrounded Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor. In an instant, they saw a boundless world at the other end of the light. It was the Godly Kingdom of the barbarian race. Luo Feng, Truyang Emperor, and the servant all vanished. They soon arrived at a quiet place far away from the territory of humans, a star in a remote region of the universe. Disguising a ship as a star, said Truyang Emperor. Your servant is very interesting. There are infinite stars in the universe, replied Luo Feng. The perfect disguise for any object. The teacher and the student flew out to the blinding surface of the star-like object. How fast can your ship go? Truyang Emperor asked. In the dark universe, 72 times of the speed of light, said Luo Feng. He sighed. I had one that was 10% faster, but it was taken away by a universe knight. Ah, the Green Knight, said Truyang Emperor with a nod. How reckless you were to tangle with him. They had spoken at length in the Primal Secret Region, and Truyang Emperor had naturally asked Luo Feng how he had acquired the token. Luo Feng had briefed him, without divulging certain important information, about the events pertaining to his situation with the Blue Knight. I have a ship that's 90 times light speed, Truyang Emperor said. He smiled at the look on Luo Feng's face. Finally, I have something to be proud of. 90 times light speed. Luo Feng was shocked. Truyang Emperor waved his hands, and a streamlined, shuttle-shaped spaceship appeared in the sky. It shone with lustrous golden plating. "Master," came an elderly male voice from the spaceship. "You're finally using me. I haven't flown in the dark universe for years." "This is a metal life form," Truyang Emperor explained. "I haven't let him out since I first arrived at Primal Chaos City. Come on, let's get in." The door opened, and Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor entered the spaceship. As soon as they were aboard, the ship surged forward, and they entered the dark universe, increasing to light speed in an instant. The ship's speed kept increasing after entering the dark universe. 89 times, 90 times, 91 times, "Oh, it can't go faster," the metal life form within the ship said joyfully. Suddenly, an image of a cute girl appeared on the control panel, and the ship's voice changed from that of an elderly male to a youthful, energetic female. "Master is finally adventuring again. I have been so lonely." Luo Feng, in the middle of a sip of wine, promptly spat a mouthful all over the floor. "Where's she come from?" Truyang Emperor glared at the control panel. "Hey, weren't you an old man before?" "It's been hundreds of millions of years," squealed the metal life form. "Is it really so surprising that I would transform?" Luo Feng burst into laughter. "Teacher, let's face it. Who among us wouldn't change a little over hundreds of millions of years?" Truyang Emperor shook his head. Interstellar travel was a boring affair. The scene outside the ship never changed, and life within the ship went on almost as unchanging. Initially, Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor exchanged some pleasantries, but after getting drunk, they both went back to their cabins and started training. At 90 times light speed, it would take 4 months to reach the land of inheritance. Inside the cabin, the body of the Mo Sho clan was present while the original Earthling body went back to the internal world and started to practice 9 Calamity Tome. Inside the internal world, on the boundless prairie, Luo Feng looked at the golden horned beast from afar. "It's the third metal of 9 Calamity Tome," said Luo Feng, filled with delight. "It really is a lot." The first 2 metals he had gotten before only provided him with the tomes of the first, second, and fifth calamity, and he lacked the tomes for all the other calamities. However, the third metal offered him the tomes of the third and fourth, thus, Luo Feng could practice 3 tomes consecutively. "The first calamity makes my genes 3 times stronger, and the second makes them 6 times, he said. "The third, 12 times. "The fourth, 24 times. Luo Feng looked at the golden horned beast from afar. During the past 2,000 years spent in Ice Hell, the golden horned beast had already accomplished his goal. However, Luo Feng realized there was an issue. The golden horned beast's genes were 10 times stronger than those of humans. And now, after finishing the first 5 calamities of the 9 Calamity Tome, the golden horned beast was 480 times more powerful than humans. It was outrageous to even comprehend. Not even Docus, or Silver Eye, were more than 100 times stronger than humans. 480 times. Unbelievable. Luo Feng sighed. "That means when I become an undying knight, I'll become 100,000 times stronger than a sector lord, while the beast can become 48 million times stronger. Many of the special life forms are not even that mighty. Special life forms generally had genes that possessed 100 times greater potential than those of humans, and even the weakest special life forms were 10 times stronger. A small number of special life forms were 500 times more superior. Only a rare number of them could be 1,000, or even several thousand times finer. The more superior they got, the rarer they were. There were quite a few Docus, whereas beast gods and mountain-sitting guest were one of a kind. I figured out before that the more superior one's genes are, the less effective Blood River is, said Luo Feng. The force of Blood River could make its right hoof 100 times stronger, and its entire body 10 times stronger. However, it's not omnipotent. It can strengthen humans and golden horned beasts, but can it enhance beast gods? It is, after all, the essence of the blood of beast gods. The function of the force was obvious when the genes were at a low level. However, to individuals like mountain-sitting guest, it might provide 0 benefit. The golden horned beast had been practicing the 9 Calamity Tome for a long time, and it was already as powerful as a special life form. When the beast exercised the force again, the effect was significantly smaller. The right hoof of the beast is still stronger, said Luo Feng, but it's only twice as strong as the entire body. Luo Feng recalled that it had previously been 10 times mightier than its body. Clearly, the strength of the right hoof could not be improved further. Neither the fourth calamity nor the fifth couldn't improve its strength, as it had already reached its limit. Once the force is exercised, the constitution of the golden-horned beast's body will be 1,000 times stronger, Luo Feng mused. That's rare even for special life forms. I suppose I should be content. I'll keep practicing. No wonder 9 Calamity Tome may only be born by the Sky Soul Crystal. Only one is qualified to practice it. Luo Feng became more and more powerful by practicing during the course of the journey, and the true power of the tome gradually showed. 4 months later, Luo Feng heard Truyang Emperor's voice calling, "Student. Student. Come out. We're arriving at the land of inheritance." Luo Feng smiled eagerly. The land of inheritance. Inside the control room of the spaceship, Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor were looking at the outside through a virtual scene. One gale after another blew everything they touched, as if they were pythons playing among the stars. This is the legendary Ancestral God Secret Region. Truyang Emperor was amazed. The Ancestral God Secret Region is one of the most dangerous secret regions in the universe, Luo Feng said with wonder. It's the same size as a universe country, and dangerous areas are everywhere. Even universe knights can't manage to survive it. There were various levels and areas of the secret regions. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor would certainly research the region, as they had known the coordinates. They were startled to find out that the land of inheritance was located in the Ancestral God Secret Region. As a top-tier secret region filled with hazards and ordinary dangers that could kill a universe knight. In some extremely risky areas, even masters of the universe needed to be careful. Its diameter was 160 million light-years, and it took 200 million years to travel in sublight-year speed. One might need to start the adventure from the birth of the universe to pay the entire region even a cursory inspection. Besides, no one dared to do that. Mysterious. Dangerous. Off-limits. These were the words that best described the Ancestral God Secret Region. One of the most common things in this secret region is Heichong Whirlpool, said Truyang Emperor. Even a small whirlpool can severely injure a universe knight. And a large one can kill them for good. Look. Those are the Heichong whirlpools ahead of us. There are more of them at the back, said Luo Feng. Truyang Emperor turned around and saw a whirlpool that was billions of kilometers long running through the stars. If the whirlpools at the front were like pythons, and the one at the back was hundreds of millions of times mightier. Truyang Emperor was stupefied. This is the Heichong whirlpool at the periphery. Only the one at the outer right is so enormous. We've arrived, Luo Feng said and nodded his head. The spaceship slowed down and stopped. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor flew out. Among the stars were the Heichong whirlpools chasing each other. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor stood amongst the stars and looked at each other. Where is it? Luo Feng said, frowning. I can't see the land of inheritance. Just wait, Truyang Emperor said. Suddenly, the space twisted and sucked them in like a series of swirls. Teleportation, said Luo Feng. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor thought of this, and everything became clear. They were still both standing in hollow space, but the scene afar was breathtaking. The colorful river was running, emanating a mystical power that was highly enticing. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor both possessed strong wills and realized something was wrong. Quick enough, they heard a cold voice say. They turned around. An 8-meter-high rock undying stood in the hollow. He was dressed in a fiery armor, and was green like an emerald. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor realized he was of the Feiken clan, one of the rock creatures. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor were shocked, as they hadn't realized anything else was here. It's a universe knight, Luo Feng thought. Only a universe knight can teleport without letting us recognize it. Even I can't sense it, Truyang Emperor thought, surprised. I'm the guide of Ancestral God School, the knight said. Give me the token, humans. Or you'll die with it. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor both felt like they were trapped in a fire, and Luo Feng felt like a boat adrift, lost at sea. The guide of the school. He thought. There were gods, beast gods, deified generals, and prophets within the school, and prophets were the weakest. They were merely as powerful as the weakest universe knights. However, this creature of Fake and clan emanated a force that was irresistible. Teacher, is he a general? Luo Feng asked mentally. It should be, Truyang Emperor answered. They took out the tokens anyway. The tokens are rare, the knight said with a smile. No wonder the human race is one of the top 6 races. Sending 2 people with tokens at one time is impressive, indeed. Come with me. The knight was flying with Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor aside. Do you see that? The knight pointed to the dreamy and colorful river. They both nodded. Come and look at it closer. The knight teleported them to beside the river. This is. Luo Feng held his breath. It was no river, on the contrary, it was composed of auroras of 5 different colors. He could still see the river shape from afar, whereas he could only feel its boundlessness standing beside it. Is this the 5-color aurora lake? Truyang Emperor asked, thrilled at the idea. You do know something, the knight complimented him. Yes, it is indeed the 5-color aurora lake. A lake? Luo Feng was bewildered and trying to look to the end of the river. Of course, it's a lake, the knight explained. You see it as a river only because you're standing on the same level of it. However, if you fly above and overlook it, you'll see a circular lake. This lake has a diameter of 10 light years and is almighty. One aurora can severely injure a universe knight, and it's constituted by countless rays of auroras. It's one of the most forceful and valuable treasures in the universe. Both Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor were dazed. Even one aurora was this powerful. This lake is the guarding invaluable treasure of the Ancestral God School, the knight continued. Who will dare to trespass with such an invaluable treasure around? One of the most powerful invaluable treasures. Guarding invaluable treasure. Truyang Emperor sighed. No wonder the Ancestral God School is the first power of the universe. Luo Feng recalled his star tower instead. There were countless auroras on the surface of the lake, and together, it served as the guarding treasure of the Ancestral God School. The spiral of the star tower, which was made up of ceiling stars, was also precious, and together with the heavenly pillar, the star tower was also one of the most forceful and valuable treasures in the universe, according to Mountain Sitting Guest. What an eye-opener for me to see the 5-color aurora lake, Truyang Emperor said. It's lucky enough for you even to take a look at an invaluable treasure of this level, the knight said, a bit proud. There's another invaluable treasure of this level, Star Tower. That's something that can't be moved by literally anyone, and lots of the powerful ones in the universe still don't know the tower's real power. Star Tower is also one of the most powerful and valuable treasures. Truyang Emperor was shocked. It seems you don't know everything. The knight shook his head. Star Tower is one of the easiest to see, but also the most mystical and valuable treasures in the universe. Nobody's been able to figure out the mystery behind it, and nobody can take it away. It's been standing there forever. I'm done talking, and I'll take you to Bohinia Island now, said the knight. With that, he teleported. Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor felt a bit dizzy before getting to the edge of the lake. They were only a few hundred meters away from it. Each of the auroras was around 10,000 kilometers long, and its force made Luo Feng and Truyang Emperor shiver. Did you see that? The knight pointed to the deep of the lake. That's the Bohinia Island. What? Inside the lake. They looked in that direction. They could indeed see a blurry island, dim among the auroras. Come in. The knight flew directly inside. Go in. Even though the auroras are forceful. Truyang Emperor couldn't help asking. Rest assured, this is one of the most powerful treasures in the universe, and it won't hurt anyone it recognizes, the knight said. You both have the tokens and thus, you'll both be fine. Truyang Emperor looked at Luo Feng and said, "Student, I'll try first." And then he touched an aurora with his hands. The aurora encircled his arm like running water without attacking him. The knight didn't say anything after seeing this. He had seen how careful and distrustful those heirs were. "Let's go," Truyang Emperor said. "Yes, teacher," Luo Feng said and followed him into the lake. They felt like they were marching in a real lake, and the auroras comforted their bodies. The island became larger and larger as they approached it. "This is Bohinia Island, where your beast god heirs will reside on," the knight said just before they reached the island. "And this is the margin of the lake." This video will end here.